two-piece button.
Nah. Key, I hear you in the background. I don't know why you got your mans looking like that, though. I don't know why you got your nigga looking like that, nigga.
You know, when it comes to Jesse, you know I'm on point. Don't even try to play yourself, bro. Let's not even go there. Let's not even go there.
Son, I told him he looking like fucking Fred Sanford and Sanford & Son with the plaid. Son, this nigga's wild, bro. And he got the scruffy scruff. Like, come on, son.
Oh, God.
But yo, okay, I'm gonna need you to let the folks know that it's quiet on set. You feel me?
Yeah, I got you.
All right.
I got you. We good over there.
But yeah, Lucario, shout out to everybody. What up, Unique 79? Lucario is actually literally working on the next Bad Boy membership installment right now. So he's not gonna be on the show today. So it's just gonna be me and RKT appraisals. Let me see if I could put y'all shit in the it's RKT. How you spell appraisals? That's a hard word.
APPRAISALS.
All right, .com, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And your phone number again? Because
973-420-5028.
5028. All right. Let me see if I could. Because, like I said, Lucario in here, he's usually the one that do all this shit, bro. I got to put up the banners. Let me see if I can put the banner up. There we go. Booyah!
Perfect.
You feel me?
Perfect.
All right. So today, shout out to everybody that's in there. Like I said, Unique 79 is in there. There's one person that's in there right now. It's all good. We could as we continue, more people will come in, hopefully. But either way is going to get recorded and put on the channel regardless. So it's all good. But today, what we want to talk about is like skilled labor jobs, right? Skilled labor jobs. And it's good that I got my hands here because we talking about working with your hands. You understand? We talking about, because our other platform, we talk about manhood. We talk about, man shit and how to relate to females and this, that, and the third. But when it comes to this money stuff and having a financial mindset, I think it's a big part of manhood to understand that working with your hands and working as a man and doing the tough jobs and doing the skilled labor jobs is what's required sometimes in this environment, or in this society. Right. So we understand that, sometimes a lot of women complain about a pay scale gap, but it's because we the ones that's doing the tough jobs. You understand that these tough jobs are what we call skilled labor, type of jobs, vocations, right? Meaning that you learn a skill where you don't necessarily have to go to college to understand how to do this job. So we talking about stuff like welding. We talking about plumbing, carpentry. We talking about being an electrician. We talking about, matter of fact, I got this article open. They talking about a plumber, a wind turbine technician, HVAC controls technician, elevator mechanic, maintenance supervisor, construction and building inspector, project supervisor and construction, bricklayer, construction site manager, or construction site worker, refrigeration mechanic, biomedical equipment technician. And there's so much more. Guys. Even me personally, I do video. I did my second video on this topic the other day on my Miles Cunningham channel. So go follow me at Miles Cunningham on YouTube. But I did a video about this the other day again. And I did a video about this early on when my channel started, because a lot of guys, it's funny how the society is nowadays where it's like a lot of guys want to follow in the female's footsteps. You understand? And when I say that, what I mean is a lot of guys want to do what chicks do. And what chicks do is they think, oh, well, I want to get my degree and I want to be a master's and a PhD and da-da-da-da. But those jobs are important too. But not all those jobs allow us to have the type of lifestyle that we have in this world. You understand? Some of the, when they say that phrase, it's a dirty job, but somebody's got to do it. These are the type of jobs I'm talking about. Some of these jobs where you got to, stay out in the cold. You understand? You got to be underwater for a long time, or you got to be high up in these skyscrapers working on the cranes for a long time. You got to be in positions where the average person might not be, right? You got to be in positions where certain people wouldn't be caught. They wouldn't be caught in that type of situation because they want to work in a nice, comfortable office. You understand what I'm saying? Where you got other guys who are on some manly shit. We want to do the tough jobs. We want to lay bricks. We want to lay pipe. I mean, a lot of us want to lay pipe for different reasons, but I'm talking about plumbing, guys, plumbing and construction. Take it easy. So I want to let Rashidi and Kaleem Smith from Rashidi Lucario and Kaleem Smith from RKT Appraisals talk about those type of labor skills and how you can actually, instead of going to college and going into debt, you could actually get out into the world, learn a skill, and begin stacking your bread and start your annuities early, so you can have your retirement done before you, because the average person who got a degree, they looking to retire at 65. But a lot of these vocational jobs are high paying jobs. I'm talking starting salaries in, like 75, 80, 90. You understand? And then when you actually get some experience under your belt, you're already making six figures. So if you're making six figures as a young man, you can start stacking your bread super early on some annuities, with these money market accounts, with these IRAs, and all the type of things that we talk about. So let me let you guys get in there and talk some more about it, man. Go ahead and unmute yourself, and then so we could get going.
Kaleem, you want to go ahead and lead the way, Kaleem, or good? All right. So yeah, I'll start.
Go ahead.
Okay, perfect. Yes, I mean, going back to what Miles is saying in terms of that, it is great to get in these trades. Like you said, you don't have to always go to college. Unfortunately, the misconception is, and it's the American dream is to go to college, get that great job, and make all this money, and that's all to it. Unfortunately, that's false. You know what I mean? It doesn't work that way. A lot of these jobs, it is great to go to college, only if you know what you want to do for sure. And
right.
Unfortunately, and if you don't have a certain background and you go to college and it takes you 2-3 years to figure out what you want to do, and you figure out what you do in 2 to 3 years is not what you want to do, depending on the school you went to, you accumulated $50,000 to $100,000 in school debt. And the truth is, that's a bachelor's degree. And that bachelor's degree, the average person, and this is a real statistic, only makes about $40,000 a year.
Right.
So it may not be worth it. To go back to what Miles said, it's one of those things where you jump in a trade, it doesn't cost as much money as college. You learn a skill that's a specialized skill that you can use in the world until you figure out what you want to do. And the great thing about that is that the residuals are crazy. Before you even get into the whole annuities and money marketing, I'll give you an example. At the end of the day, right now, I have a contractor right now. So, I'm in the real estate market now where I'm in a process of working on a multifamily as we speak and things of that nature. And the contractor who did not go to college knows how to build a house. He can charge $130 an hour for labor. For labor. That means just to work. So he doesn't have that education and not saying he doesn't have education, but he didn't necessarily have to go to college for 4 years, 6, 7, 8 years and accumulate these degrees, but yet still he makes more than a person that actually may even have a PhD on the highest collegiate level. So it's one of those things where you do not need to go to college to do all these things. Now, again, if it's something that works for you, you know what you're doing, fine. But let's be real here. What 18-year-old or 23-year-old for that matter knows exactly what they want to do and have their plan executed? Show me the numbers. Not many, no matter what race it is, white, black, Spanish, nobody does. So that's my point. And I mean, even to go back to, the other trades Miles was saying, a plumber, example again, a multifamily that was just purchased, plumber has to redo the plumbing. That's a $10,000 job. The actual plumbing pipes cost about $3,000. That person made $7,000 to do the job. Electrician. I just had to have an electrician, no lie, negotiate him down to $1,900 to put in an electrician box. The equipment costs $500. Let's relate that somebody wants to degree and wants to be, let's say for argument's sake, a clinical psychologist. Yeah, they may make $50 an hour, but you multiply 5 times 8, that's 400. On a lower scale when you first get out, because you got to earn your ranks, $400 a day. When this person that does electrician, the example I just gave you, he just made $1,500 profit in one day in a job that took him only 3 hours to do. Right. So again, the purpose of this is not knocking college or anything like that, but you know, to go back to Miles' point is that if you're trying to develop yourself as individual and as a male, you can do a lot of hands-on skills,
Right.
and especially in the community of color, you know, that's something the route you probably want to go, because a lot of times you don't have that bank backing, educational backing in certain markets, and not everybody, but just generally speaking. So if you don't have that, you pick up a trade. You could do it. And let's be real here. In today's day and age, everything is social media. Everybody wants instant gratification.
Right.
The truth is, those all things are lost arts. People don't want to go to those schools. They look down on it. But it's funny because people that look down on all those trades, paying them same people crazy money to do everything. Painters. You could barely find a painter. For a painter to paint a baby room, it costs $800.
Right.
Like, that's how ridiculous the game is.
And the crazy part is there's always a shortage for these jobs because, like you just said, everybody's brainwashed into the you know, that paradigm or that pattern of going to college to study liberal arts and become a psychologist or become an engineer or some shit like that. And it's like, bro, let me tell you something. I've been working with engineers all my corporate life. You understand? And I was an 18-year-old in New York City making $25 an hour. $25 an hour. You translate that, that's like 50 something a year. 18-year-old kid making 50 something a year, working an office job because I was a computer aided draftsman. You understand? Meaning that the engineers will sketch up the plans and I will translate that to a digital drawing. You understand? And then they print out the drawing and make the fucking blueprints. You know those big drawings that you see on a construction site? That's what I did. You understand? And not to brag or nothing like that, but I've always made more money than my friends within that frame. You understand? Because when I was doing that type of work, my friends was working at Old Navy, Subway, McDonald's. You understand? Just trying to get whatever job they could get just for the sake of getting a job. But see, I learned my vocation in high school. I went to a trade high school. I went to a vocational high school that had a vocational program, and I learned that skill of computer aided drafting, and I was paying my own bills from age 18. You understand? So, you know, you want to talk about like being able to like be financially free. You imagine you start out at 18 making $40,000-$50,000 as an entry level, whatever you are. You understand? And you only 18. You ain't got no kids. You ain't got no girl. Excuse me, no wife or whatever. You could stack bread like a mug. You understand what I'm saying? You could put that money away. Right. And like all the stuff we talk about with the annuities with compounding interest and so on and so forth, before you even hit 40, you're in a well-suited position to retire if you want to. You see what I'm saying? Okay. What you got?
I just want to add to that. See what it is that most people don't realize when it comes to college, right? And a degree versus like a trade school, right? With college, it's still part of a system, right? It's still part of a system to teach you how to work for somebody else. Right. They start you off in kindergarten all the way up until past grade 12 into college, how to work for somebody else. They teach you where to sit. They teach you when to take your lunch. It's a system, right? So now when it comes to trade schooling, that's like your introduction to self-employment / entrepreneurship / owning your own business. Right. But that's the thing. So if you get a trade, if you learn a trade, working with your hands, like you said, the different jobs out there, plumbing, electrician work, like Rashidi was saying, those jobs, a lot, they get paid. Those workers get paid a lot of money. Right. But like you said, it's a dirty job. Somebody's got to do it. Not everybody's willing to do that. That's why they get paid the money that they do get paid. So I say that to say this, just to kind of reiterate what Rashidi was saying. I'm not saying not to go to college, but be smart about the process. If you are going to go to college, right? What are you going to college for? Like, if you're going to be like, if doctor or lawyer, right? That's such a cliche. Some people get it, some people don't. But the reality is, it's like the accumulated debt that you're going to have from getting these professions, right? The time it's going to take for you to pay these loans back, right? It's like, are you really doing something for yourself at that point? Right. When it comes to the trades, you could literally be accumulating throughout the course of time. You could be investing your money, and like you said, because of social media, it's so much easier to get yourself out there as a self-employed person versus someone who's working for somebody else. Because the thing is, even the jobs that are out there when you graduate, those jobs are ran by different CEOs. They're entrepreneurs themselves. So it's just a question: are you going to work for yourself, or are you going to work for somebody else?
Right.
I've worked in fast food for a long time. Hated working in fast food, but I did it for a long time, right? And what can I say about working in fast food? The pay sucks.
And when I said, hold on, when I said my friends was out here working at Old Navy and McDonald's and shit, this nigga is one of the niggas I was talking about. But go ahead.
Real talk. And the thing was, the last restaurant job that I had, I was working at an Indian restaurant, right? And I was the manager there, so I was able to see the daily sales, and I was counting the money every night. And I was counting, when I'm talking about, I was counting thousands of dollars. They made, and no exaggeration, per week they made about a good $35,000 per week.
Ooh.
This is in Manhattan on 23rd Street between 56th Ave. I don't want to give out the name or whatever, but they were making a lot of money. My point is, and I'm like, damn, I'm not seeing any of this. I'm seeing pennies on these dollars.
Facts.
So I'll say, something has to change. Like, it has to change. And then when things started clicking, I started realizing, like, if they can, and because they're doing it, I know it could be done.
Right.
So I said, I have to do something that's going to work for me. I know that family, it was a nice Indian family. I know they're going to be like good. They're set for life. Why? Because they chose to take matters into their own hands and do something for themselves. Was it, not going off on a tangent, because I know we're talking about trades, but the point being is that it's, you got to be self-employed to really, make things happen in this world, in today's world, just because things are constantly changing, and you have to change with it, or else you're going to fall further and further behind.
Facts. And to add to what you're saying about taking things into your own hands, or entrepreneurship in general, like, you have to understand something about these type of jobs, right? Once you gain a certain level of certification and experience, right? Certification and years of experience, there's absolutely nothing stopping you from starting your own business. Absolutely nothing. Because it doesn't, these type of jobs are the type of jobs where all you need is to know what you know, which is the certification, and have experience. Like, meaning that you've done this so many times that you could do it with your eyes closed. You understand? Now, once at that point, you can still even have a job and then do side jobs on your own. You understand that? Like Kayleen was saying, with social media, it's so easy to market yourself and do freelance work on the side. Because you could work a full week, working for somebody else. Maybe you're a carpenter, you work for a carpentry company. But then on the weekends, you do side jobs, like you do somebody's deck, or you build a dog house or a tree house for somebody, or whatever it is, right? But the fact of the matter is, and then after all those years, you can build up your own company, because guess what? It's other cats coming up learning who need experience. And if you got your own company, you bring them into the fold. You understand? So now you have the option of, you could work for people, you could freelance on the side, you can, after a certain amount of years, you can start your own company, and with a certain amount of level of certification, you can also start a school to teach this skill and make money that way. You understand what I'm saying? It's so many different ways to make money in the realm of this field, right? And on top of that, you don't need no college degree. And the cool part is that most of society don't even realize this shit. You understand? And the cool part is the society don't realize, but the sad part is a lot of society love to turn their nose down at niggas. Like, for example, I'm sure, many of you watching this may have seen, shout out to K Zaggin and Unique 79 in the chat. What up, Goldie? What up, Manny? Thanks for hanging with us. G Dog UK, Infamous Guapo. Thanks for hanging with us, man. Appreciate it. Eric Bird, what's going on? You guys may have heard like a podcast the other day with some chick, some influencer personality talking about, I don't fuck with niggas that's blue collar. You understand what I'm saying? But that's your average basic bitch. So you ain't even got to worry about that. Like, real women know men that got bread, that's living a good life and doing what they supposed to do. You understand what I'm saying? So don't let it sway you when you hear people talk that type of nonsense about, looking their nose down at blue collar people. You understand? Because I'm gonna get into it real quick. I'm on Indeed.com, right? And I looked up the 12 high paying trade jobs, right? So the first one they got here is licensed practical nurse. So this is the level of nursing that you do before you become a registered nurse, which is a RN, right? And they get paid $25 an hour. That's pretty much $50,000 a year. You understand? So imagine you starting out at, like I said, age 18, 19, 20, and you're making 50 G's a year already. You understand that half of these jobs with bachelor's and master's degrees, it takes them years to get to that. And think about it. It takes you what 6 years to do a master's and 4 years to do a bachelor's, and you could get right out of high school. All you got to do is get the certification. I think you have to take a test, get a certification, and you can start making $50,000 a year. Right. The next job they got on here is HVAC technician. That's $23 an hour, which is just around the $45,000 to $50,000 a year range. You got home inspector. This is $52,000 a year range. You got a plumber, $24 an hour. You got electrician, $24 an hour. And these are just averages. You understand? If you're living in a major city, you're getting paid even more than that. You understand? Landscape designer, $54,000 a year. Boiler maker, $27 an hour. Respiratory therapist, $35 an hour. Construction manager, $84,000 a year. Construction manager, $84,000 a year. Dental hygienist, $38 an hour. I think that's like in the 60, 65 a year range. Ultrasonographer, that's $38 an hour. You got radiation therapist, that's $115,000 a year. You understand? Not to mention you got like pharmacy jobs and all the other stuff. I mentioned computer aided drafting. I mean, shit, if you look around your house, you just look around your house. Your house got a roof. That's roof for shit. You understand? You look at the walls around your house. That's construction. You know what I'm saying? Sheetrocking. You got the electrical outlets. That's an electrician. You got the faucets and the plumbing. That's a plumber. You understand what I'm saying? You got the concrete. You got the metal frame. That's welding. You understand what I'm saying? All these jobs I'm talking about, and not one of them require a 4-year degree where you have to go into debt. All of them usually is like what, the most 18 months to get a certification?
Correct. And to go and piggyback off what you said previous to as well, Miles, all those jobs you listed, I don't think everybody noticed. The lowest starting point was $18 an hour. And I'm guessing it could have been, and that's the lowest average. What is minimum wage in your state? The minimum wage is what, $8, $10? Right. Maybe 15 in very specific states like California, where it's $1 trillion to live. Let's put things back in perspective. Go back to even what you said earlier on as far as people looking down on you. The ironic thing about it is that person that has that PhD that's maybe making $80,000 a year, maybe is paying that person he's looking down more money than he's making.
Right.
And think about it even deeper. That person, why do you think that particular industry, and only people that had to hire a plumber or electrician, all these people, why do you think that industry gets to do what they want and they don't have to follow the business model? What do I mean by that? The typical, hey, yes, sir, the customer service is right. Because if I make a corporate complaint, you know what I mean, I'm going to do everything bend back over. Why do you think that trade industry don't have to kiss people's butt cheeks? Reason being is because they make their own prices, charge what they want to charge, and they are specialized in that trade. So therefore, Mr. PhD, you can't tell me anything because I know what I'm doing. You can't find me nowhere else. You can't do it. And you could barely find somebody that can do it and I can do it. And go ahead and find somebody else. It's probably going to take you 3 more weeks to find a plumber. If anybody in this chat room ever had to get a plumber, electrician, any type of trade, not only do they take their time, not only do they not call you back, but they call you back like as if they didn't ignored you for 3 weeks. Oh, yeah, sorry, Rashidi. Oh, yeah, you called me January 21st and it's February 26th. You still need that plumber work done? Yeah, I still need it, but you check your tone because you need them. That's how real the game is. Like, It's crazy.
Yeah, it's so interesting how we need these people, man. And a lot of these jobs are recession and pandemic proof. A lot of these jobs, because remember when the pandemic hit, we still had essential workers working. And those were the people that allowed shit to happen. Like, these are the people who I call the circulatory system people. You understand? Like, you think about the human body, no matter what's going on, you still need to circulate blood throughout your body for everything to function. And these are the people who make that happen. You understand? The welders, the builders, the nurses, the technicians, the guys that you see on the construction sites. Any nigga that you see wearing a yellow or orange vest on the side of the road with a hard hat, that nigga's job is more important than yours, even though you might be making more money than him per year. You understand what I'm saying? Yo, you got some of these, imagine truckers, even truckers, bro. You get your CDL license, or you driving, you transporting. How important is it to get Amazon fucking merchandise from one end of the country to the next? How important is that? UPS niggas, FedEx niggas. Like, it's real out here, bro. You can look your nose down at blue collar people if you want to, but blue collar people is what make the world what it is. So the college niggas could fucking scoff at us. You understand what I'm saying? If it wasn't for blue collar niggas actually supporting the baseline foundation of society, you understand? It wouldn't be nothing for these fucking smart ass intellectual college people to fucking complain about. You feel me? That's how important these jobs are. So what I'm saying is, guys need to understand this shit. And I'm also get into I'm looking at let me see, what website is this? This is called payscale.com, and it says the top 5 cities for wage growth, especially in skilled trade working. So the first city they got on here is Seattle. You understand? Seattle is they got 1.9% growth. They got San Francisco 1.6% growth. They got Houston 1.4% growth. Boston 1.2%. Washington D.C. 1% growth. You understand? So those are the top 5 cities that that skilled worker trades are getting an increase. And the reason why these increases are even happening is because we was talking about it. So many people don't even realize that there's another choice to life. You understand? There's another choice to life that don't have nothing to do with going to college and getting into debt. You understand?
Say that again.
It's another choice in life that has nothing to do with going to college and getting into debt. And check this out. Like I said, if you're an 18, 19, 20-year-old making $40,000 to $50,000 a year just to start, right? You can still go to college and take night classes and pay for college at your own pace. So when you're done, you still won't be in debt. You understand? Because what really puts motherfuckers into debt, if you really break it down, niggas that's coming out of high school, they still want a free ride from mommy and daddy for the next 4 to 6 years. That's all it really is. So instead of working, I'm going to live on the campus and fucking live a sheltered life and have my parents pay for dormitory fees and have my parents pay for tuition and have all my classes and everything laid out for me. You know what the alternative is? Alternative, get a fucking job and take night classes, nigga. You understand? Instead of wasting the whole day, half of your fucking day is wasted. Let's be clear, because your first class is at 9, then you don't have another class till 1 o'clock, right? And then you have a class from 1 to 2, then you don't have another fucking class till like 5 in the evening, and all in between time you fucking around hollering at bitches, trying to get hoes pregnant, wasting your fucking life for 4 to 6 years. Let's be real, right? And all you really doing is spending up your parents' money and making them go broke and go into debt. That's all you're fucking doing, really. You understand? So, and again, nobody's knocking going to college because those jobs are important too. But what I'm saying is there's a different choice in this life, man. There's a different choice in this life. But let me let y'all go. Go ahead.
Can you throw something in, Katie?
Oh, yeah, no. So, no, I was just pretty much saying, like, yeah, to me, honestly, it's like I said, it all depends on what you want to do. Even for me, like I went to community college. I went to Kingsborough Community College in Brooklyn, right? Brooklyn, New York. And mind you, I went there for a year, didn't finish. I took up early child education, realized, okay, I like kids, but realized I didn't like kids so much. Not enough to really like watch after them and then, be a teacher, So I said to myself, I learned early. My point is I learned early that I didn't like college wasn't for me.
Right.
Out of all my siblings, I'm the only one that didn't graduate, but I'm the only one that didn't accumulate any debt. At all. At all. Honestly, like at this point, like, and it's I stayed with that. Like throughout the course of my life, I never accumulated any debt. But most people accumulate debt from college, and then it's throughout the course of their life in their 20s. They're trying to get out of it. So by the time they reach their 30s, you know, they can get a home. You know, they start a family, things of that nature. Some of them they get past it. A lot of them don't. A lot of them don't. But I knew from early. Once I realized, like, wait a minute, I don't want to do this. I can do something for myself. I say, you know, it's not for me. And like I said, like we all saying, I don't want to frown upon people going to college, but like definitely in today's age, there is definitely other routes that you can take to end up at a better destination, at a destination. You know, so
and I love it.
That in mind.
Yeah, and even in the chat, everybody's dropping some gems. You know, Dwarf, something Dwarf had passed already, but yeah, you know, just talking about you know, different ways and different traits and all that type of stuff. Trades really is the way to go for real, because at the end of the day, you just save so much money. And like you said, the thing that Dwarf or whatever name was in the chat, he pretty much said, like, okay, when it comes to a trade and these lawyers, you're going to be in debt forever, because the reality of the situation is, like Kadeem said, is a person like himself who didn't finish college and went for a year, the average Joe, or based off society standards, will look at him and say, like, how come you ain't go to college? I can't respect them or hold them accountable to a certain level, you know? But the truth is, okay, how much debt I got? Zero. How much debt you got? 100,000. How long you gonna take to pay it off? 30 years. I mean, let's just be real here. Like that is the real dynamic of the situation. Trades are serious. And if you think about it, a trade, the reason why it's 18 months and it's slightly higher than you know, over as far as the overall rate than college. So what I mean by that, you go to a 2-year school, it might cost you 25,000. You know what I mean? Wherein is a local state's 4-year school might cost you 40,000. So you might look at it like, hey, it's a little bit more to go to trade school. No, but the reality situation is, once you go to college, you go to that 4-year degree, you then have to keep getting other degrees to get bumped up into another scale. The only thing to offset that is to work in that field for 10, 15 years to get the highest achievement. Problem with that is now you're playing corporate games. You're bouncing from company to company, you know what I mean? Doing extra work, doing this, doing that to prove to get a little penny. Right. But the good thing about trades is that you learn a trade right out the gate, you're making money, and you're going to make mistakes just like the other person that made mistakes. But when you truly gain 1 to 3 years of experience in that particular trade, not only are you getting paid more money, but people have to respect you because you literally know by experience what to do about that trade. So you have 100% credibility. But that person that got that degree and work at this company, we don't know what credibility they got because they're just following that particular company's guidelines and whatever they tell them to say on that phone or follow their policy. So do we know what their credibility is? It's somebody else's agenda they're following. That's why once you call certain companies, you know, a cell phone company, Verizon or whoever, they tell you, they just read a script. It gets outsourced. You say, oh, my bill is due today. I want to pay this. Yes, sir. Your bill is due today. How much do you want to pay? I'm trying to do something else with it. I want to get some more service. Are you calling about your bill? They just read off of scripts. Every job is scripted. It's whatever the company wants to tell you. You call someone about a payment. Yeah, I'm going to be late with my payment. When do I have to pay the payment by? You just have to pay it on the due date. How many times do you have to ask that person that question? 3, 4, 5 times. Why? Because they're reading off a script. But an independent contractor, a person that has a trade, all they're going to say is, boom, listen, I got these pipes. What am I going to do? You can get these copper pipes. You can get these steel pipes. These copper pipes is going to last you 10 years. These steel pipes going to last you 20 years. The difference is you're going to save $100 a pipe on this one, but this is how it's going to be. End of story. You address the question of problem. Their experience, they know their trade, they know what they're talking about, versus person B in corporate America is whatever the policy is pushing. And that's how it works in the game.
Right. Definitely.
One of my boys in Brooklyn, he doesn't have a shop, but he's a mechanic. Like he fixed cars. Anytime that something went wrong with my car, I didn't have no worries. I still paid my guy, but I paid him. Like he could literally fix anything on the car. So anytime I had an issue with my car, I didn't go to a regular shop. I went right by his house. We put the car to jack, and whatever needed to be fixed, we fixed it, no problem. And it's like he always had money. Why? That was his trade. You know what I'm saying? He knew how to fix cars.
Right.
Everything about cars he knew how to do. So it's like, yeah, it'll definitely last you a lifetime. You never have to worry about working again once you know how to use your hands.
Right.
Hands down.
That shit is some of the realest shit, man. Because if you think about it, bro, it's like for example, some jobs, it's like if you don't have a degree, like if you don't have all this red tape or all this hype or all this decoration about you, you can't get no money. You can't work. You understand? When on the flip side, like when you ask somebody, yo, what do you do? And you say, yo, I'm a mechanic. It's like automatically I already know where to put you. You understand what I'm saying? Like when you say, oh, what degree do you have? It's like, oh yeah, I got a master's. You got a master's in what? Oh, I got a master's in art, or I got a master's in business. Think about that. After you paid all that fucking money, right, for college, you get let's just say you get a bachelor's in business science. Okay, I have a bachelor's in business science. The question still remains: what the fuck do you do? You get what I'm saying? If I say I'm a mechanic, you can't ask me what the fuck I do because I just told you.
That's so true. I love that. That's true.
It's just that cut and dry. Yep.
Facts. If I say I'm a painter, I'm a plumber, I'm an electrician, it's so easy. You already know
mystery.
What I do. and because you already know what the fuck I do, the money is automatic.
Yep.
You understand? But when you say I have a bachelor in science of business.
And what you talking about?
What are you talking
I mean, it's so funny, and I want to relate it and pull it back in and relate it to myself to the level of everything we've been going over today. Right. So you know, I know Miles and I know Kaleem, and it's one of those things where everybody that knows me, I'm not a handyman. I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat it. I'm the dude that we talking about right now. The best thing I had was fixing the VCR and plugging the red plug in, matching the red and the yellow cord to yellow. I ain't gonna say a lie to you. But the truth is, at the end of the day, when I bought this house in September, and the landscaper came outside because I did the stupidness and I didn't know about leaves being on the yard, and I left them certain places on the yard, so my backyard got 3 ball spots. So dude looked at me and I had some work because I had a leak in my house, and then you own a house, and it called a leak through the basement. Dude came over there when I was with my girl, and dude came over there and he looked at me, he said, listen, he's like, my man, I could charge you, but go ahead and rake up this whole yard, go get some sod or get some seeds, throw some hay over it so the birds don't eat it up, soften up the ground, and do this yourself. But if you want, I could write up a quote for you. It's gonna cost you about $3,000.
Right.
Guess what I'm doing right now? Went to Home Depot, got the sod on sale. It's gonna cost me about $700, probably about 3 hours of my time.
Right.
And I ain't gonna lie, it's probably gonna be jacked up a little bit because it's my first run on it. But the point is, though, it's only gonna cost me $700 versus paying somebody $3,000 something I could do. And guess what he does? A trade. And guess what he does? He calls me back when he wants to. I asked this. It took me 3 weeks for me to get a quote from the man.
Dang.
It took me that long that not only I took his advice, I was like, yo, by the time I got his advice, I already started the project.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, so anybody can do it. Change is crucial.
You feel me? Like the reason why these guys don't call you back in a timely fashion is because they are that busy.
Yeah, this is true. This is true.
You gotta understand that. It's not because they trying to be disrespectful. It's that I don't fucking need your money, nigga.
That's exactly it. Matter of fact, to go back after you just said, that's what he told me. He was like, listen, this is busy season for me. So even though I can make $3K off of you, he didn't say even though I can make the $3K, but he said this is busy season. So I'll call you when I get a chance. I don't know about everybody in the chat, but if you could put $3,000 on the back burner, I want to do what you're doing. That's all I'm saying. It's real, man. It's real, man. Let
me see. I got this article open. So it says benefits of jumping into a trade job. So it says no college debt. We talked about that. Paid training. Like a lot of these jobs, bro. A lot of these jobs offer paid training because it says instead of paying university, trade jobs typically offer apprenticeships and on-the-job training that involve learning your craft while being paid for your effort. Exactly. So a lot of them you still got to pay some money for the certification, but a lot of it is also paid training where you still gonna come out cheaper than if you paying for a college education. You get to learn practical skills, You get excellent income expectations. That's true because you don't have to wait 4 years for a degree to actually start getting experience. You understand what I'm saying? And you don't, and the entry level pay grade for a lot of these jobs are higher than the entry level pay grades for a lot of these college based jobs, for these degree based jobs. You see what I'm saying? And on top of that, when you think about it, there's a lot more people getting degree based jobs. So what that means? That means the market is saturated with people trying to get jobs using degrees. You understand? The market is unsaturated with people trying to get jobs using skill certifications. So therefore, that's why the income is more to start out with. You understand? So it says excellent income expectations, opportunity for growth, and you can start a business and become your own boss in no time. You understand what I'm saying? So he's talking about, he said the top 5 jobs, or the top paying jobs, is mechanical insulator. That's HVAC. That's heating, ventilation, and air conditioning, right? In different, because you could do shit for houses, you could do shit for, for buildings, for warehouses, for skyscrapers, is all different shit. Cement and concrete mason, that's like bricklayer, and you could pave driveways, roads, curbs, foundations, and all that. Dental hygienist, we talked about that before. The median wage for that is $35 an hour. That's good money starting out. You know what I'm saying? Extraction worker, the median wage is 25 for that. He says, I don't even know what the hell this is. Let me read it. Hold on. It says extraction work is a single description for a broad field that involves jobs dedicated to extracting resources from the earth. Okay, so this ranges from drilling hard minerals to hard minerals and rock to oil. Depending on the types of material, median pay can vary dramatically. This is due to the variation in lifestyle, such as oil rig workers who live offshore for many months out of the year. You understand? And again, this is an example of the type of job, like just getting back to the topic of like masculinity and all of that other stuff we was talking about. This is an example of the type of jobs that chicks don't want to do, and the type of jobs that men do. You understand what I'm saying? Which is why we get paid differently from women. You feel me? Another one of the highest paying skilled trade jobs is electrician. Median wage on that is 26. Another one is paralegal, which is you work in the law office. And this is another one of those jobs where you work in a law office. You can start out making over $20 an hour, and then you actually can take law classes and pay for them at your own pace. You understand what I'm saying? So by the time you actually finish law school and become a lawyer, you're out. You don't have any debt, but the lawyers that you work with are still paying back debt. You understand what I'm saying? That's crazy. And then you got elevator mechanic. I spoke about that before. The median wage on that is $38, and those are the top 5. But there are so many other type of jobs, like shit that I can't even name here. You understand what I'm saying? But it's up to you to really look at what direction you want to put your life in, and what type of things you're interested in, and really figure out what any one of these skilled trade jobs that might be good for you. You understand what I'm saying? You like working with metals. You might want to look at welding, or you might want to look at machinery or machining, which is like using heavy machinery to bend and engrave or to shape metals into different things. Like, for example, like if you ever seen a little widget part of another machine that was cut out and shaped by someone. You understand what I'm saying? That was welded, like 2 pieces of metal was welded and put together to make that little widget that holds your table together at home. You understand what I'm saying? Like all these different type of things. Like you go to the park and you see the slide, and one piece was welded to the next. Like somebody welded that. Somebody did that. You understand what I'm saying? So your kids could come and play in the park. You understand? And with this topic though, like I really like the part about people looking their nose down at blue collar workers. It like a lot of times it kind of fucks with me. You know what I'm saying? Because it just shows the level of unawareness that a lot of people have. You understand?
Ignorance. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because truth be told, a lot of these motherfuckers who fall into debt trying to get a college education, they feel like that debt is a prestigious thing. You feel me? Like they feel like, oh, well, my education put me in debt, so therefore it has to be more important than yours. You understand? And then that's where the whole looking down their nose at other people shit comes in. And it's like, bro, like you are so unaware. You understand? Like for example, the average college kid, he drives on a road to get to school, and he goes into a building to sit in front of sit in a lecture hall and look at some professor tell him shit, right? The road that you drove on to get to the school, I built it.
That's real.
The fucking building, the building that you sit in, the building that you paid all these thousands of dollars to sit in, to listen to this motherfucker talk to you, I built it. Me and my mans in them, we did the electrical work for the lights that you using. You understand? Where you plug your laptop in, I did the electrical work for that. The little fucking table that you're sitting at, my carpenter homeboy did that and put that there so you can sit there. And then look your fucking nose down at me and act like you better than me because you're in debt for your education and I'm not. Like shit like that fuck with me. But saying I just wanted to talk about it real quick, but I just wanted to bring it to add to that.
I know you're absolutely right. It's ridiculous. It's that how how unconscious everyone is about the small things that make everyone's world go round.
Right.
And just to kind of go in a little deeper. When it comes to trading, to me, like I said, I think it's way better. To me personally, I think it's better to go to college, if you ask me, right? What it is that also, but you gotta be smart about it. Plan for the time that you don't want to do your trade anymore. Right. And what I mean by that is that it's a lot of manual labor when you have a trade, for most trades.
Right.
So what you could do at 30, at 65, it's not going to be as easy.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So plan for that time to where you can't work anymore.
Right.
You feel like, my body's giving out, to where you can have something set up for retirement, to where you don't have to worry about working after those ages. Because you still want to set yourself up the same way the person who has a corporate job stops or retires at a certain time as well. So exactly. You still want to retire this at a certain age and set things in place,
Right.
So we'll throw that out there.
Definitely. So this is exactly why it works together. This is exactly why, I wanted to talk about this with you guys. You know what I'm saying? Because we always talk about, annuities, and we talk about retirement funds. We talk about life insurance, right? We talk about index funds and all that stuff. That's what it's about. Like if you start off early without debt and you're making a certain amount of money, you definitely need to consider, hollering at guys at like RKT appraisals. You know what I'm saying? Call that number 973-420-5028, especially if you're one of these guys that are working, a vocational or skilled trade job. Get in contact with these dudes and start putting some of that money away. So you want to set yourself up like these niggas with college degrees, but truth be told, you want to retire before these niggas. You understand? Because these niggas is doing, paper pushing jobs, they can retire at 65. But like Kaleem said, you're working with your hands and you got to depend on your body. You got to depend on the physical. So that means you need to retire earlier than these weak niggas. You feel me? Because the physical is going to, it's going to take a toll on your physical. You understand? And that's why we also talked about, bringing younger cats that's in the game under you to work for you. You understand? Set up your company or have them do freelance work as a subcontractor under you, whatever. You understand? But either way, you need to consider, you're going to be making a certain amount of money, but you need to consider putting that money away because, on top of the fact that you're not with these corporate niggas with the 401ks and shit, that means you got to start your own IRA. You have to start your own. I'm sorry. What does IRA stand for again? Come on, guys.
Individual retirement account.
Retirement account. Exactly. Right. You got to start your own individual retirement account. So you got to, you got to have an individual retirement account and you have to have a life insurance policy. Right. Because, you need to take care of your family. You need to also have a certain amount of money to take care of you when you get old and you can't work anymore. And you want to have a certain amount of money stashed away so you can have an enjoyable retirement. You see what I'm saying? So, I'm just glad, we were able to talk about this to let cats know that that's a part of the money game too, man. Not only niggas with college degrees make money. It's a lot of cats out here that's nailing and hammering and welding and building and constructing and doing their thing and making crazy bread out here. You understand? So don't think that you gotta go to college and don't, and that's another thing too. Like, please consider that, it's really up to you to make the choice. You understand? Because what the average person is going to do is going to do what the average person is going to do, which is go to college and be like, I went to college, bro. I went to college. I didn't get no degree because I was sitting there. Like, half the time I felt like I was smarter than the fucking professor standing in front of me. You understand? That was half the time. Then I would talk to some of my like classmates and I'll be like, I'm in the wrong place. Y'all motherfuckers is stupid. Like, I would try to have a real conversation with niggas and niggas would look at me like I'm crazy. You understand? And I'm like, I ain't crazy. Y'all niggas is just stupid. And before I knew it, I dropped out of college early because I realized, this ain't the place for me. This ain't the place to really like help me manifest and cultivate my brain power. You understand? Because I already saw that my brain power was on another plane. I'm not saying I was necessarily smarter than them niggas, but I was just over here. They're over here. I'm over here. You understand what I'm saying? I already knew that I was different. You feel me? So, understand, like, figure it out for yourself is what I'm saying. You understand? Figure it out for yourself, because even your fucking guidance counselor in high school, any of my young cats listening to this, even your guidance counselor in high school will try to push you to take the college route. You understand? If you really look at who you are and understand the big deal about who you are, you realize it may not be for you. You understand? It may not be for you, but don't get it twisted. I'm not saying to sit on your ass and become a derelict or whatever, or some type of bum. You know what I'm saying? We all have to be productive members of this society. But what I'm saying is there are other ways to make that happen. So don't fall for the okie doke and get stuck with college debt, trying to be like everybody else and all that type of shit. Make your own decisions and do what you need to do for yourself. All right?
Perfect, man. So, and the routine. Call RKT appraisals.
Yeah,
we got here. We in the mix. We got the perfect mix of all the mistakes that you made. We made them for you. So come talk to us. Get your credit fixed. Get your life insurance. Protect your assets. Build that wealth. Build that generational wealth, so your kids could do better than you and keep the growth going and keep money making. We know what we're talking about. You listen to the podcast. We all are experienced people, and we know what we're doing. And we got crafts, and we got some college mixed in there too. So come through. 973-420-5028. Check out the website, www.rktappraisals.com.
Perfect. All right, man. So, man, again, guys, everybody in the chat, thanks for hanging out with us. Really appreciate you. BC Gaming, Infamous, El Guapo, Unique 79, Glenn Z, BC Gamings, I already said him, Unique 79, Man Vibes, Red Dwarf, G Dog UK, and everybody else watching, man. Dred Scott, we really appreciate you guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. Thank you to RKT Appraisals for always bringing the heat and and looking out for the brothers that mess with the content, man. We really appreciate you. And you know what it is, as always, the truth is inside you. Peace. Wait.